It's the main event. Whew. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. You know him as 17-year NFL veteran, three-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys, who are all the rage now that the draft is coming up. They'll illustrate, everybody.
Somebody is feeling better.
You know what, though? It's weird. I am this morning.
Yeah.
I felt good. So I stopped taking the allergy medicine Saturday night was the last time I took it. And yesterday I was feeling all right, but I was still a little sluggish. Man, last night, I took it yesterday at like 4 o'clock. I could not sleep last night. My throat hurt. And I was like, am I sick now? My throat hurt. I was all stuffed up all night. I was just tossing and turning all night. Wake up this morning, perfectly fine.
Back to old Steve.
So I don't know if last night and overnight was like the last blip of allergies or what. But I feel fine right now.
Well,
If it lasts.
supposed to cool down a little bit. Hopefully, some of the stuff.
But it's all cloudy.
I know. It's like it's weird.
I don't have bad allergies. I never had allergies before. I used to be like, which is weird because I love playing sports. I used to be allergic to grass, so I'd have like itching fits when I was a kid. You just take your medicine and you move on with your life. No big deal. This is the hardest allergies have hit me ever in my life.
Really?
I'm telling you, Thursday and Friday last week, I didn't say it on air. My eyes were like just burning and like watery, and I was just like, "What is happening right now?"
Well, we all knew something was wrong.
My mom just the voice alone, but it's just weird. Like I'm just constantly thirsty, man. Like all night long. I literally had like a couple Gatorades. I have a fridge in my room, and I was like had a couple Gatorades like right next to my bed because I'd roll over and just like dry throat. Like what the heck is happening right now? So hopefully it's the last blip because I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I feel good now. So we'll see, Dale. We'll see.
As the day goes along, you know what's interesting you say that because Brooke drinks more water than any human that I know other than my nephew.
And she weighs 20 pounds,
yeah.
folks.
My nephew's 25 years old, says, I drink over 100 ounces of water a day. I'm like, that makes me want to drown.
You're in the bathroom constantly.
Yeah. Well, yes. But Brooke, she drinks water all day long. Before she goes to bed, she chugs two 12-ounce glasses of water. And she never goes to the bathroom during the night.
She run hot? Is she sweating or something?
Meanwhile, here's knuckleheaded me. I don't drink water after 6 p.m. because I don't want to be up more than my normal 2.5 times.
It is weird, right? Yeah. And that's what I was wondering. I was like, man, maybe I should switch to water. But then I find that, especially like with allergies, the water doesn't quench your thirst as easily as Gatorade does for some reason. Like with my it was a tough night, Dale. It was a tough night. But it's weird. Then I woke up today and feel good. I get a little stuffy during McCollum on Business this morning, a little bit. I think that's just the sitting and everything. But at least the ucky feeling is gone. I don't know how to explain it because I've never had allergies this bad, but I just felt like my body was just like, I'm done.
Well, I'm sure part of the reason you felt better is because both my Final Four teams lost, so you're probably doing a little dance on that. Guess what?
Told you not to go Arizona.
And guess what? I did it a month ago.
I know.
But
by the way, I had Arizona winning the whole thing too. So
and neither one of them were even close. So it's like, well, why are you even watching this?
And then the women's one wasn't even close either yesterday. I was watching that over at my parents' house. They had it on for. I have a second. What is she? My second niece, grandniece, I guess I should say. Great niece. My sister's kid's kid. What is that? So
you know what I have. So
my niece, whatever my niece's kid is to me, is great niece or something.
Well, so I have that issue too because Brooke has a cousin, whose son moved out here.
Well, that's a cousin though.
A cousin, and so first cousins Brooke and this Wendy, and then the son. And like he comes golfing with me a lot. He's around a lot.
Yeah.
And we kept trying to go, how do I introduce you? And finally I just said, screw it. You're my nephew.
Yeah, that's all you got to say. Nobody knows.
Hey, this is my nephew Grayson.
He would be your second cousin by marriage.
Yeah.
It's my second cousin by marriage.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
weird.
so it's like a great niece or whatever. So my dad had the game on because she's into softball and basketball, and she's really athletic and everything. Even she lost it when it became a 30-point game in that second
Wow.
quarter. She even lost interest.
Oh,
in that,
UCLA.
but,
It's been so long since a West Coast team.
and both women's and men's.
Yeah, but obviously it's not going to be this year in men's.
Yeah, and UCLA hadn't won it on the women's side since like 1971 or something like that,
Been a
early
long
70s.
time. Been a long time.
Been a long. They dominated that game. This is what I don't get, Dale. They're going to expand the women's tournament to whatever it is, 75, 76 teams. I don't even know. I saw the blip and just moved on with my life. Even on the men's side. Why? There's the men's bracket is pretty much chalky for the most part. You get the high point upset one round, and that's it. Last couple of years.
Right.
The women's side, though, the teams that legitimately should be in can't win a game. And now you're going to add a bunch of teams that shouldn't be into this? What are we doing? You're forcing. I know it's for the money. I get it. It's for the money. There's not enough good competitive women's. You saw that yesterday. South Carolina's a really good basketball team. Blown up by 30.
Yeah.
Not even a competitive championship game. What only game that was competitive was UConn, South Carolina, and that wasn't competitive. You just paid attention to that because it was UConn on the women's side, and you thought they were going to win it. I don't know. It's weird what they're doing with the basketball side of things, especially on the women's side of it, because there's just not enough great women teams to compete with the best out there. Which it'll get that way. It's just going to take a few more years to get there. It's going to take another generation of girls to grow up playing basketball to get there.
Because
nothing wrong with it. Just going to take a little bit.
It's fascinating because UConn, the girls' side, has been dominant for 25 years. From Diana Taurasi, they've always been a tournament team, national championship team. Yeah. Enough that wow, you get kind of tired of it. But it seems like there's 3 or 4 teams that can win it in the girls.
That's it. That's all there is. Maybe a 5th team can win it, but that's all that has a legitimate chance to win it.
But is it that much different than the guys?
No, that's my argument here. Especially these last 2 years. Like the men, at least they had like Davidson made the Final Four 1 year. Butler's made it a couple years. So in the past, you could have a couple mid-majors. Yeah, Gonzaga built it up. You're not going to see another Gonzaga-type team. You're not. The best team in the Mountain West, Utah State. You heard their coach. We played it here. Their coach was like, I moved to Cincinnati because we did everything we could do at Utah State, and we were still only an 8 seed, 9 seed, whatever they were. He's like, you're not going to get any better than that. So it's just, why are we expanding the tournament? It's so dumb. But even if a mid-major makes it to the Final Four, they don't win it, or the final game. They don't ever win it. It's always the blue blood type deal thing. And we'll get into Arizona here coming up as well. Told you I was a little worried about Michigan's three-point shooting and the size of Michigan being a little bit more polished, I guess I should say. I use the word like an older, more experienced type team, and boy, did that show from the onset of that tip-off the other day. The other interesting dynamic here, Michigan coach comes out for the game and says, I'm not looking at other jobs, period. I've already told Michigan I'm not looking at other jobs. I'm here.
Right.
Really? Tommy Lloyd, hey, he got his extension. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
But you can't tell me that's not a distraction. And I'll show you why it possibly could have been a distraction. I'll at least tell you about it. Because Michigan, it came out after the game. It looked like Michigan was bricking shots. Like their point guard would drive into the lane, bounce it off the top of the backboard, and it would go right into the 7-footer's hands, and they would put it back in. That turned out they planned to do that. And they count as missed shots on the point guard, but they count as rebounds and get points for the other guy. Michigan saw that as we cannot go in and compete underneath with the size of Arizona. So drive it in there, throw it off the top of the backboard. Utah boys, go get it. Give us easy points there. They did it repeatedly, and Arizona had no answer. Folks, coaching mattered the other night. And it was just an amazing. I'm not saying Tommy Lloyd negotiating for his contract, but it does come to preparation. That might have happened anyway. That's special coaching there on the Michigan side. But it is interesting that happened after everything going down. So
yeah, and again, I think that's going a little deep. If that's what they did, first of all, it sounds stupid.
It sounds ridiculous.
Hey, I don't care what happens. Just throw it off the backboard. I don't care how many misses we have.
Yeah.
That sounds stupid.
But if you watch the beginning of the game, you saw him repeatedly do it. And it worked. Coaching.
Yeah, well, U of A's got their guy.
Yeah.
He's a Final Four guy now.
Yeah. I was going to be on his resume.
Boy.
I'm not saying it. I'm not tying it together. I'm just saying this is going to sound even more insulting for Tommy Lloyd. Tommy Lloyd might not have been able to figure something out. Like, he might not be that type of coach. The Michigan coach is, though. He can find those little his staff can find those little nuances on how to beat a defense. Tommy Lloyd said it after the game. Michigan's one of those teams you need to play a couple times to get used to their size and figure out how to beat their size. Okay, well, Michigan doesn't have to play you twice. They'll beat you the first time. And the second time.
Again, because I sometimes think out of the box.
And
I know U of A fans are super sad
They were
today.
very depressed. Yeah, I was starting to worry about a couple of my buddies.
But honestly, I've always said this. I'd rather just get my behind handed to me. Say, you know what? We were not even close to them today.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if we play in a week, but not today. I can live with that. And then I started thinking, there's no way that a couple of the guys who thought they're going to be top 10 picks in this coming year's draft are still top 10 picks. Does that mean that they come back for a year?
NBA.
And I'm talking about Mr. Pete, who I love.
I don't know if he was
the family.
I don't know if he was ever a top 10 or.
Well, I think going into the season, they came out of the gates scoring 30.
But definitely a first rounder.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there was a couple times where the cameras caught him standing next to somebody else. Like, I even looked at Autumn at one because we were out at a sports bar, and I even looked at her at one point and go, look how tall. I go, that kid. I go, that man was playing high school football at Perry a year ago. He was huge.
Right.
And I'm sure he's put on weight at Arizona and weights and stuff like that. But I was like, that kid was playing high school basketball just a year ago. This time down there at Perry. Like, what in the world? Well, that's the thing. Arizona showed their youth in that game, I think, is what my takeaway is.
Well, I think you got to give Michigan credit. They're
the best team in
some of those guys look like on the court. They look like they're 8 foot tall and they could move.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were sticks and they were just under the basket and they could move.
Did you see what else Michigan did? They practiced for the depth in that arena. I firmly believe at the beginning of that game, and I told you guys last week that was my concern. I had 3 concerns: Michigan's 3-point shooting. How do the young Arizona kids start the game? Like, watch how they play, and how the refs call it. Refs called it beautifully, I thought. Now, granted, when it becomes a blowout, it's easy to just let things go and stuff to that effect. But Michigan actually practiced. They set up their gym to where they could play with the depth perception issue. Arizona obviously didn't. They struggled. They were missing easy at the basket layups. They were missing outside shots that they hit all year long, constantly at the beginning of the game. And they got out of hand early in this game.
Yes.
And then I find out afterwards, I don't have it in front of me, but Michigan did something where they planned and practiced for that depth perception issue. And did Michigan look like they were struggling with that depth perception? No. They were just making shots like it was nothing. But again, you can't equate what Tommy Lloyd was doing on the side to preparation. But it's either they didn't prepare the way Michigan did. That's for sure they didn't do it. They were not ready to play like Michigan was. But was that because of the distractions? Or would have happened regardless because Tommy Lloyd doesn't prepare that way? Most coaches don't, by the way. This Michigan coach is something special.
Well, I did not read that, and I don't know how you practice playing on a football
I gotta
field
look it up
or
and
in a
see.
football stadium.
I got to figure out how he let me look it up and see if I can find out how he did it.
Can you do that with AI nowadays?
No, no.
Who knows? But you heard, you don't listen to a whole lot of what I say. But I've told you before that was one of the biggest things. Obviously, we weren't prepared for it in high school, playing in our first gym without a wall.
Yeah.
And I thought my first 5 shots were air balls. Well, thank God they went in. I don't know how, but they went in, because if I missed them, then I don't know what I'm doing then.
Yeah.
But I got lucky. And unfortunately for Arizona, their first 5 shots had no chance.
Not even close. And then they were relying when they needed to get back into the game, instead of going down underneath, they were shooting the long 2s, 3-pointers.
Which is hard.
Michigan basketball practiced in the Big House, which is the football stadium, to adapt to altered depth perception.
Okay.
They took a basketball hoop into the football stadium. That familiarized them with that vast open space to maintain shooting accuracy in unfamiliar environments.
Okay, well, that's good.
They did that.
Yeah.
And it showed. It absolutely showed that they were ready to go. To me, it just came down to one team was ready to play and one team wasn't. And it's not a knock on Arizona. I'm not saying they didn't want to play. What I'm saying, and this, I thought this before I learned all this stuff after the game. It just looked like one team was prepared to play in that environment and another team was not. So put it on the preparation of the coaches if you want to. Nobody else is doing what the Michigan coach did. He's one of a kind. Now, you might see more teams start to do that now that they know what he's done. But man, it was amazing. It was amazing to watch Michigan. And then to open as 7.5-point favorites tonight against UConn on top of it. A team, two-time defending champion. All Dan Hurley does is win. And to open as 7.5-point favorites tonight is just disrespectful to UConn, man. No, UConn's all new. It's not the same people from last year, but yeah.
No, it's not. But again, UConn, well, whatever we think of the Hurley family or Danny Hurley, not
Dan.
Okay, Dan.
Well, from
Bobby
UConn,
and Dan.
Yeah.
The Dan Hurley. UConn, they weren't supposed to be Duke. That you could consider that a fluke if you want. They dominated Illinois, who'd had a pretty good season. I wouldn't count them out tonight. I would not count them out.
I wouldn't either. Now, can they win it? I'm not too sure. Michigan's the best team in the country. Period. End of story.
But they've lost to Purdue.
That's the point. Early in the season, though.
There was a late loss.
Oh, no, that's right. They lost in the they didn't win. These UConn and Michigan did not lose in their conference tournament or lost in their conference tournament. That's right. That's what happened. So I was telling you guys all along, Arizona needs to get a late loss in here. They had that little blip there, but I was like, they need to lose like late to like refocus or whatever. UConn and Michigan are two teams that did lose in their conference tournaments. Something to be said about that, Dale. Like it's simple in my mind. Arizona had a fantastic season. This was the best Arizona team ever fielded, including their championship year, I felt, and everything. And they just went up against a team that's just a lot better than them.
And played better than them on that Saturday. Because, so much of that comes down to the 40 minutes that you're on the basketball court.
Yes.
And you've got one shot at it. It's not, again, who knows what happened if it's like a best of 5?
Yes.
Who knows? It might be 3-2.
I think Arizona struggled with the length of Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure they would handle
it.
It's not going to be 30-point blowout. Yeah.
Well, when you see it again.
You will, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I think it would get close. Games would get closer.
Yeah.
But I think the depth and then just Michigan just starts hitting those threes. What was that, in the second half? there, and all of a sudden Michigan just starts nailing threes like nothing out there, and you're just not going to catch back up at that point either. When you look at that, so I mean, disappointing in terms of the blowouts that happened this weekend, but still overall kind of a fun watch. Just I was just amazed by Michigan. Now um I don't have a dog in the fight, so I'm not one of those guys that's like, I hope Arizona loses, and I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, Michigan loses. I don't. Michigan's fan base, I don't care about Michigan, but Michigan's fan base is one where you just want to punch them in the face most of the time. They're kind of like Notre Dame's fan base. Really, really good, 50 years ago, and they still like hang on to it. They act like they've won a lot lately. Which, football's won a championship and stuff. But look at the Big Ten go. The SEC's best conference in the world, huh, Dale?
Oh, wow.
Big Ten's dominating lately.
Somehow you got to there.
When was the last time the SEC won a championship?
I don't know. Who's the last team?
Been a while.
Well, actually, Florida won last year. So.
Oh, dang it. They don't count as SEC, though.
Oh, they don't.
Okay, so last year.
Yeah.
Same. Big Ten, baby. Big Ten. I got Florida.
They're so history.
Dang it. Forgot Florida. I forgot about Florida last year. Stupid jerks.
Oh.
Tommy Lloyd extension, though. Look, he got what he wanted. Obviously, staying down there is $7.5 million to live in Tucson, folks. Oh, my God. When does his moat get put in is my question. He's going to rule the roost down there with what he's making. The interesting thing that came out of it, nothing has been officially said by the school or anything to that respect. But I saw a little blurb about this, and I saw 3 or 4 other people start to trickle out that they've been told the same thing. And that is Tommy Lloyd no longer reports to the athletic director.
Yeah.
Only the president of the school. That was probably the thing he wanted most in this extension and contract. What the hell happened between those two? Could you imagine Dillingham going, I don't want to report to Gramercy?
Well, difference is he'd be reporting to Crow.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take receipt.
Yeah, no matter how bad receipt he is, I don't want to report to Crow.
What in the world happened to where that's part of the job description?
Right.
Now, I'm totally speculating here, but that tells you, her job is to work the university within budgets and within certain rules and stuff like that. And I wonder on the NIL side if she's kind of, restricted what they can do for stuff. And that he's like, you can't do that right now, or something to that effect. But it has to be something like that. I'm just speculating. But it has to be something like, it wasn't like she was like, you can't go out for pizza on this Tuesday and expense. I'm looking at your expense report. This $32 pizza that you bought, we can't have that. You need to pay that for yourself. It's not something like that, right? It's more of restricting what he wants to do to build a prolific Final Four continued program. Has to be that, right? It can't be something.
It's got to be something like that. And I got to think, as an athletic director, you're the athletic director, meaning you're in charge of all the athletic program. And no, we're not just a one-sport school. It's not basketball, although kind of what we hang our hat on.
That's the money-generating sport for Arizona.
Yeah. Somehow we've got to make all our teams competitive. But to get it to where I don't want to report to her,
no, he doesn't need any interaction with her anymore. She can walk in and say, I want you to do this, and he can go, I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh.
I'm sorry, and you are. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing to put out there. As I told you, I actually predicted that she could be out of a job if he gets this extension. Last week, I didn't report it. I just said, the question is when he signs. 'Cause I told you guys how long he was staying in Arizona. He was doing it's very similar feel to the Kenny Dillingham. What was interesting though is I had a lot of people go, UNC's not looking at him at all. Tommy Lloyd sits down in his press conference on Friday announcing it, and he goes, I want to thank you, North Carolina, for reaching out and having discussions with them and all that. And I was like, oh, yeah, they weren't talking, huh? Just like Michigan wasn't making offers to Kenny Dillingham last year, folks.
Or talking to somebody in his camp.
There was the smoke doesn't get that thick unless there's some bit of truth to it and stuff to that effect. So, man, it's just amazing to see. But I just couldn't imagine. Like, to me, you just failed as an athletic director if you can't. One of your subordinates can't. One of the people you're over can't report to you. What happened? Ugh. $7.5 million average over the 5 years, the life of the deal and everything as well. Interesting enough, he said, I made a decision that my Michael Jordan is Steve Kerr, and I'm proud to be an Arizona Wildcat. Isn't that fascinating? He said that in his press, because there was a rumor that Michael Jordan had called him to kind of persuade him to take the North Carolina job. He said that didn't happen.
Oh.
But if you know anything about Bulls history, Michael Jordan beat up Steve Kerr in a practice one time.
Yeah, Steve Kerr also won them a championship.
Oh, he did. Not at Arizona.
At Bulls.
The Bulls. Yeah.
I think the first Final Four team was Steve Kerr, right?
They made it to the Final Four. They didn't. Bibby was the only one that won it. Yeah, his freshman year. There's a lot of similarities between this Arizona team and that Arizona team. The Mike Bibby one to win it and stuff like that. It's just they just ran into a buzzsaw of a team.
Yes. Okay, you got to give credit to Michigan. Michigan played better. Again, I think if they play 10 times, it might be 5-5. Yeah. But you only get to play once.
Yeah, and it's just the size, the 3-point, the size, and then the Arizona. I think it was halfway through the first half. I was like, I think I put it out on Twitter. I was like, Arizona's in trouble. They got to stop shooting jump shots. They ain't working. They're missing them, and you're getting just farther down the side.
Cole Pete had about 3 there in the first half from about 10, 12 feet where he makes his money. And he missed every one of them.
It didn't help that Bradley had 3 fouls in the first half, so he had to go to the bench and couldn't play the way he needed to play and all of that. So here we go. I found it here. I wanted to look it up. The Reed Francois said in a statement, Tommy Lloyd is the best coach in college basketball. We have strong conviction in the future of Arizona basketball under his leadership. Our program's success this season, winning championships, competing on the sport's highest stage, and excelling academically is a testament to the standard that he and his staff have established. He has recruited and developed student athletes of character who made a positive impact on our team, our campus, and our community. Tommy has strengthened our foundation while honoring the tradition that makes Arizona basketball one of the premier programs in the country, and we're thrilled he will continue to lead this program at the highest levels to come. She goes on to, say some other stuff, but it's a pretty big statement for somebody where it supposedly doesn't have to talk to him anymore.
Well, he thanked her too
because he's a professional. He's always going to do that. If I won the power battle, I would thank that person too. Just one more.
Publicly, no, you wouldn't.
No. Publicly, you look like you're giving him props, but you just send that one last dagger. One last dagger.
You would have something that let her know and people know publicly, I ain't talking to her.
Exactly.
That's you.
I have one less contact in my phone today. Hey, I'll get you guys guess who it is.
Watch as I delete. All right,
I'm all on the stage going, see that?
Yeah.
Bloop. Out there.
That would be Steve.
Oh, man. So we'll see. Now they have a lot of changes. Look, after tonight's game, I think it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, Wednesday, but I think it's tomorrow. portal open.
Yes.
Dan Hurley even said, because somebody asked him about the transfer portal opening the other night. He goes, I don't even want to think about that.
Yes.
He goes, because I know the disaster and the what's coming down the pipeline. He goes, I just want to enjoy being back in the championship game.
Right.
And it's like, man, these guys are going to coach tonight and lose half their roster tomorrow. Every year, Dan Hurley's won a championship the last 2. The next day, he's woken up and 3/4 of his team is winning the championship.
Well, and you know that half of his coaching staff has been working on the portal. The guys outside the top 3 or 4 coaches on the staff who are concentrating on the Final Four, they're all scouring possible portal entries.
Yeah.
Watching film and developing a list, and it's silly. It's like 2 years ago when ASU's in the playoff, and they're also trying to keep their guys, and they're also trying to get portal guys, and
they know who's leaving into the portal leading up to the game. Did you see? I don't have all the details on, but did you see the executive order, kind of putting order into college sports? It doesn't go into effect until August, and there'll be a ton of litigation about it. So we don't know what will exactly happen, but I mean, if that's what you got to do to get this push back in.
Well, I was talking to a guy over the weekend, and I saw Dabo Swinney talking. And I know a lot of people have different feelings about Dabo.
He doesn't he doesn't even participate in the portal.
But he came up with one workable idea that I thought, wow, this needs some thought.
Really?
He said, so here would be my plan if somebody asked me. He said, you get 1 free transfer.
Which is what the executive order has.
No questions asked, 1 free transfer. You can transfer if your coach is fired or moves on to a new job.
I think that needs to be part of it.
And if you graduate from a school, you can graduate transfer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, barring those circumstances,
You're stuck there.
You're at that school.
Well, I think the executive order had, similar to that, all that stuff, but it had you could transfer as many times as you want. You're just sitting out a year.
Yeah. Oh, he said you could transfer, but you have to sit out a year.
So you get the 1 free one where you don't sit out. Unless your coach leaves, then you can transfer.
Yes.
As many times. If you go to a school and every year your coach leaves, you can keep transferring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the executive order specifically said you have to sit out a year after that. And I agree, because it's no different than like high school or, anything like that where you're like, oh, this team's going to suck and I'm in my junior year, but I'm really good. So I go to this school where they're good and get right back into the playoffs again. Well, there's got to be some.
There has to be some guardrails,
Yes.
and that's what I said.
You can't just keep hopping to schools to go to better and better schools to try to.
And
win.
I'm not sitting here on a pedestal screaming from the top of my lungs, oh, go back to the olden days, because the olden days weren't right either.
Yeah,
when I played,
got to be a happy medium.
When I played, whenever you transferred, you lost a year.
Yes.
And after my freshman year at SMU, new coach, new staff. After spring ball, coaches called guys in. 12 or 13 of them said you never play here.
That's why
transfer.
That's why when a coach changes, you need to be able to transfer and not sit out.
Right.
Because the coach is going to get rid of you.
Yeah, there's going to be certain guys that aren't going to fit the way that the new guy does things.
Yes.
Again, it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm really not. I was never asked to leave. I didn't know that was going on.
Yeah.
I was starting after spring ball.
Yeah.
And obviously I fit into their plan. So I never got called in. I didn't know these other guys got called in.
You show up one day and you're like, where's Derek at?
Yeah. But way more than that. Yeah, there were 13 of them.
Yeah, it's an amazing. But I mean, and then that's the problem is coaches can utilize it to harm.
Yes.
And that's actually what makes me angry. There are famous stories of Tommy Tuberville in his coaching days where he treated players like crap because he knew he could. And he's like, I can ruin your college career by making one move right now. And then you're just stuck in the no man's land. You'll never recover.
Right. Well, and even a couple years before me, there are no scholarship limits. So like teams like the University of Texas would sign 30 guys who they knew could never play there, but guess what?
Kept them
if they went to SMU or they went to Baylor, they might improve to be good enough to be a player, so they just scholarshiped them.
Yeah.
Never played at Texas.
Just think how many athletes could have been developed into
Yes.
All-Pros and Hall of Famers in the NFL if they just would have gotten a chance.
Instead of being the 147th guy at University of Texas.
But I also blame that on the kid, too. I'm sorry. You have to recognize if you're in the plan.
Now, that's a whole show in itself, Steve, because it is.
We talk about that here all the time.
Yeah.
The local kid that's like, I'm going to Alabama when Saban was there and they're winning championships. Right tackle. I'm going to Alabama. They want me at Alabama. I'm going there.
Yeah.
A year later, they're at Sacramento State or someplace.
You're
get
a
any playing time.
dominant Arizona fan. And see,
Yeah.
and what I tell people, because all this stuff has been coming up for me lately in the last month. Like I've told people, I was a better basketball player than football player in high school. And I got chosen to play on that national team. So I got to play teams from New York and Los Angeles and Chicago. And got to realize, in my face, I'm really good for Phoenix.
Yeah.
And
these kids grow up playing this sport in the streets.
And I'm like, well, my dreams of playing in the NBA, I got hit with it in the face. Well, if you're just an offensive lineman from, say you go to Centennial, you don't know the dudes that are going to Alabama.
Well, no, and what you don't know is those kids that are going to Alabama are in a program to go to Alabama.
Well,
they're being funneled that way, if you know what I mean. Like they're playing at schools where you're going to one of these three colleges if you perform at these high schools. This is where you're going to school. They know it. And they're in that program from youth and stuff. And you're not in it here. And you got to break into it. It's hard to do. And like I said, I blame the kid for that. I blame the kid and his parents for that.
But you don't know what you don't know. Is what I'm trying to tell
I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not a high level athlete. Because I would sit there and I'd be like, yeah, Alabama, they're really good. Maybe I need to start it someplace else, get good, and then build myself.
But all you've done is be built up as you're the best in Arizona.
That's the problem.
And I tell people all the time, I announced Alabama games. I did national broadcast.
You're being fed a lot of crap.
But I did Alabama, at least one or two Alabama games for about 12 years. And they would lose a first-round draft pick left tackle.
Yeah.
Who was 6'6", 325. And you're like, how are they going to replace this guy?
Next guy's better.
And you come back the next year, and it's like, oh, there's a left tackle that's 6'6", 320. He's a freshman. It's like, where do they grow these kids?
Yeah, he's better than the other guy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I mean, those schools that turn kids like that, there are kids that actually go pro if they don't want to, but they have to because they know they're going to get replaced by a younger kid just because of the way it's going. So they kind of like force you to go into those other side of things. It's amazing. But like I said, I blame that on the kids. That's the whole point of this conversation is at some point, somebody in that kid's orbit has to take a step back. Okay, well, nowadays it's easy. That's my point, though. Now, okay, Alabama wants me. I'll go to Alabama. Worst case, it doesn't work out and I don't play. I'll just transfer out. I'll be able to play at, I don't know, TCU or Arizona State or Arizona or something. And I'll be able to step in there and play. What I learned in Alabama, I'll be able to step in and play right off the bat for 4 years. I'll have 4 years of eligibility left. And it's not going to hurt anything. And I'll have that experience on my resume, and that life experience thing. Because you are able to transfer so much. That's why you got to make it a little bit more difficult.
But in the new way, you'd still have that opportunity to transfer once.
Yes. Yeah, so you go try it and you go back.
Yeah, it's just you can't go Alabama, Arizona State, and Arizona State doesn't work out, now transfer somewhere else.
Well, who's that kid that went to Florida, Arizona State? Now he's at like Sacramento. He's transferring from Sacramento State or whatever.
The quarterback?
Yeah. I just forgot his name. Dylan Raiola is another good example where he just moves around and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just dumb. I don't get it. UConn versus Michigan tonight, Dale. Last thing on college basketball here. Who you got tonight?
Well, if the two teams show up that played on Saturday, I would say Michigan.
Yeah, do not sleep on UConn tonight.
But that is what I would say also is that it's now Monday. They both played a game on that court. They both played a game with the sight lines.
UConn was not bothered by the sight.
And I would not bet against Danny Hurley and UConn.
That's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Michigan should win the championship tonight,
Yes.
period, end of story. But take UConn plus 7.5.
Ooh.
Might be a closer game than you're anticipating.
I would guess it would be a single-digit game.
Yeah, I don't, especially late. I'm really impressed with Michigan's coaches. They did some things in that Arizona game that were startling. Then you found out afterwards their preparation. But also, Michigan has that knee problem on, was it number 22? 22?
Yeah,
22?
they're one of their best big guys.
Yeah, so he has they say it's clean, but he obviously wasn't healthy in that game. They need him to play and stuff like that. So, but do not sleep on Dan Hurley. The thing I like about Dan Hurley, go ahead. Real quick.
Well, the one thing that really stood out to me is Michigan was comfortably ahead. Why do they keep trying to put that guy back in the game?
He actually addressed that after the game. He goes, "Did anybody watch the UConn Duke game?" I gave a couple game examples of the other team coming back.
Yeah,
and
that was you could just feel it in the crowd.
Oh
in the
no,
game.
I can tell you. I'm watching that game. First half, I'm like, Arizona's got no chance in this game. Like zero chance in this game. You could just feel it right off the bat. And then at halftime, I went and I searched through like a bunch of Arizona beat reporters. A bunch of them were there and stuff like that. And they were even putting out like, we'll know in the next 3 minutes of this of the second half if Arizona's got a chance.
And they didn't.
No. And second that the half started, Michigan goes down and scores, and you're like, nope, going to be the same thing. It's over.
Right.
Type of a thing. But Dan Hurley, what I like about Dan Hurley more than I like about Bobby Hurley, forget about the winning and all. For one, he just wins. It's just that he embraces his abrasiveness and his jerkiness. Like he even says it. He goes, he uses the whole term, but he's like, hey, I just, we're just out there. Our job is to win. We do this stuff. He goes, hey, and I'm a little bit of an a-hole. He goes, it's just what I am. What are you gonna do about it? And part of me just leans back, Dale, and goes, I can respect that. I can respect you admitting that. That's good for you, buddy. I would not be shocked if they win tonight, just because of UConn's history. But I agree. Michigan's the team to beat.
Yes.
And I thought it would come down to I'll put it this way. All throughout the season, I was like, Arizona's the best team, but I thought Michigan was a close second. But when the tournament came, I thought they'd have some matchup issues. They're just taking everybody out. Like, they're not even there. That, to me, that comes down to coaching, matchups, having the team focused. And you're getting the two best coaches, I think, as well in this tournament, battling it out tonight as well. So you'll have what happens on the courts, and then you have the behind-the-scenes preparation for this game tonight, and then what happens on the court in terms of coaching. You've got the two best going at it tonight. That alone will be a fun little thing to watch tonight on top of the basketball, in my opinion out there. What time does that game start tonight, Dale? Any idea? Is it like 5:30 or something?
I do not.
Oh, shoot. I had it here, and I closed 5:50 p.m. our time. 7.5, at least on FanDuel, it's still a 7.5 point spread right now as well for Michigan.
Yeah, that's odd. 5:50.
Yeah, but
I mean that's 8:50 East Coast time. That's 8:50 Indianapolis time.
hey, what are you doing in Indianapolis or Connecticut tomorrow? You got nothing else going on, or Michigan? What, you got nothing else going on?
In Ann Arbor.
You can wake up and do your militia stuff with guns anytime tomorrow. You don't have to be up early there in Michigan.
And then there's a break.
Come on back, folks. The main event. we're back here. Hey, Dale.
Hey, Steve.
Happy Masters Week.
That means the official golf season has started.
Can't wear white after Labor Day. Or the Masters.
Yeah. Well, this past weekend in San Antonio, but that was a slosh fest.
Yeah, and what he ended up winning by? -17?
He won by one.
JJ Spawn.
Yeah, 1-1, and I have not been playing up to par this year, but
JJ's been disappointing this year and
couldn't
ended up
putt.
doing it.
All of a sudden, he found out he can putt, and this is time for the Masters.
Mine is interesting enough. So he finished first. Matt Wallace, Michael Kim, and Robert McIntyre all tied for second at 16 under.
Yeah.
Here's how they shot in the final round: -5, -4, -3, and -2. That same order, first to fourth there. So literally, the worst you shot on that day is the lowest you fell there between first and second place. One shot off the lead there as well for those guys. Your boy Ludvig Auberg. I'm going to call him by his real name today because he actually played really well this weekend, finally. Because he was struggling, so I was going to go back to calling him Aberg again as well coming up here. So, Masters Week, you got what do they call that? The par 3 tournament.
On Wednesday.
That's just fun to watch, even if you're not a golf fan, because they go out there and they mess around. It's literally a 3, small holes.
It's 9 holes, all par 3.
And they invite their family on. Nobody wants to win it because the winner doesn't win the Masters. But they'll have their kids go out and putt for them to be canceled.
And then all of a sudden you're disqualified.
You're disqualified, so you can't win it from there.
There have been guys who on the 9th hole have been leading it and hit the ball in the water.
Yes, yeah. It's a fun little side thing you could say if you're Wednesday, if there's nothing else on during the day, you just flip over to that and catch that.
Wives, caddy, kids are out there.
Yeah. It's a big family affair,
right?
Is what, and stuff. So it's fun to watch on Wednesday, even if you're not a golf fan. It really is, to be honest with you. And then, of course, the tournament gets started on Thursday this week. I got some Masters stats for you here.
Oh, really?
Pulls up. Ready for this?
Is Tiger playing?
No. Neither's Phil. Why even watch that? Why even watch two aged, washed-up superstars? Let's put it that way. I played out there. Tees are 5/16 of an inch grass here this weekend. Fairways, 3/8 of an inch. Second cut, 1 3/8. The collars are 1/4 inch. Green surrounds are 5/16 of an inch. And then the greens are going to be a super slick 1/8 of an inch grass on the Greensdale. To me, that means nothing other than, holy hell, golf people are nerds. Because people are arguing over these grass lengths, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, they're making this course too easy. They need to make it a little bit harder.
Well, the greens there, if you tune in for a little bit, watch some of the greens. They're absolutely asinine and ridiculous. And if any other course in America had those, they go, this course is just non-playable. It's ridiculous.
I've been to the Masters.
But now it's at Augusta. So, this is just perfect.
I've been at the Masters. And I've seen golfers line up their putt and the holes to their left. And they're lined up to the right.
Oh.
And you're like, what are they doing? What an idiot. And they hit it. It goes around the course and waddles around and lands like three feet from the hole. And you're just like, what? And if they would have hit it just straight to it, it would have
rolled off the green.
Or would have been down south or something. It is an amazing thing to watch. A lot of course tournaments are like that, but it kind of accents itself. But the reason the Masters, right? Nostalgia. So you've got, who's going to step up a little bit, right? Scheffler's there. His whole family. He's got a 9-year-old kid. Scotty Scheffler does. He showed up there yesterday. So
he also has a 2-week-old.
Yeah. No. I thought it was a 9-day-old. Yeah, 9-day-old kid.
That's 2 weeks.
That's 9 days.
Steve, that's 2 weeks.
It's 9 days.
And you said 9-year-old.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, 9-day-old.
Yeah.
Well, that was as of Saturday. So you're right. Now he's 11.
So now it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks is 14 days now. But my point is he's played well in this tournament. He won a Masters one time with his other kid, was just born, and he was like out trying to buy diapers in the middle of the night.
Rory won it last year. He's back. He's ready to go.
So who's going to melt? This is a tournament that you watch. Who's going to step up? The thing I like about the Masters, after day one, it's always somebody that you've either never heard of or somebody you haven't heard of in a while leading this tournament after day one, and then they just melt and go away. Yep. And somebody else pops up.
Well, what's fascinating, I'm looking at it right now, because I'm always concerned about the weather, because I always seem like there's one day where there's rain and
it's
wind.
Windy with the trees.
Yeah.
A tree fell down a couple years ago and almost killed a bunch of people.
Thursday, a high of 71. Friday, 77. Saturday, 83. And Sunday, sunny and 85.
It's humidity, too.
Yeah, so it'll be warm, but that's better than rain.
Well, no doubt. 90th Masters tournament there coming up this week. So it'll be a fun week.
Yes.
No shocker, Scotty Scheffler, #1 golfer in the world, dominates. Struggle this year. He's got to have a good Thursday, right, to get out there. But he obviously is the odds leader here for him as well. Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, not too far behind Scotty Scheffler in terms of guys to win this tournament here as well. Now, Rory last year won it, but he had to win it over Justin Rose, I believe, in the playoff, right? It's not like Rory ran away with it last year or anything to that effect. So there we go, folks. Masters Week.
And we'll talk about that more, obviously, as the week goes along. But you got to be, if you're anybody of a golf fan, you got to love it.
Yeah, and I'm a golf fan, but I'm not a sit down and must watch a golf tournament. I'll have it on if I'm not doing anything. I'll pay attention to it. This is one that you'll see me sit down and pay attention.
Hey, you don't got anything going on this week.
I got to go to the Rattlers game. I know they play this week. I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday. But after the way they played yesterday in Indiana, I'm not too sure you want to watch that.
Yeah, that didn't look good, did it?
Another one of those games where you just were like, they're never going to win this. Interesting dynamic, though, Dale, in terms of that really quick. They got a quarterback from Green Bay who was like 1/2 yard from winning the championship last year in Vegas. They get him here. MVP of the league, all of that stuff. Played good in week one, offensive player of the year in the AFL, but at the end of the game, it was kind of a blowout, so they put Drew Powell in. Yesterday, he was not playing well. They put Drew Powell in a little bit earlier. That was a blowout game. They weren't coming back and winning it. Every time they scored, Fishers would go. We might have a quarterback controversy. Not in the first few weeks here, but if this continues on this trend, we might have a quarterback controversy coming up here for that.
Well, the thing about Drew Powell is, when I was doing the games, it was a point of consternation because I think he won 2 straight MVPs.
2 or 3, yeah, it might be 3.
And then come playoff time, there would always be a hiccup.
I called him Playoff Powell.
And something would go wrong, and they wouldn't win the championship. And hey, real quick on this golf before we get too far away from that, I'm looking at it was played in San Antonio.
Yes,
Valero Texas Open. I'm looking at the payouts. I always like to see how much these tournaments pay out. The winners, J.J. Spawn, $1.7 million. Yep. But he got 0 FedEx points.
So we got 500.
So there must be some misses on here.
I know he got 500 because when I saw the ending of it yesterday, they were talking about who got the points and stuff like that.
And then Matt Wallace, unless that's all those, they must be
It was
ties?
A three-way tie. Three-way tie for second.
Yeah, but there's like Chandler Phillips, Kevin Yu, Auberg, Andrew Putnam. There's no money winnings by their name.
I do see that as well, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I see that also.
Because Putnam and Auberg tied at -15.
Well, I'm on the leaderboard right now, and you're right. I don't see it on there either.
Michael Kim and Robert McIntyre, no money? Are they not part of the PGA Tour? I don't get that. Although there's a lot of people in here that.
It doesn't matter if you're part of the tour or not. You still get paid for playing.
Yeah, because have Billy Horschel here.
Yeah. You still get paid for playing.
Yes.
What side are you on, out of curiosity?
ESPN.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. I'm on the PGA side. Okay, here we go. Matt Wallace, Michael Kim, and Robert McIntyre. You know, my Rory. I like to think of him as my Rory.
Yeah.
$741,533. So you take, if you don't know if you tie, second. So basically they tied for second, three-way tie. They take the second, the third, and the fourth money.
They split
it between the three. So all $741,000 for those three players there. Andrew Putnam there in the fifth spot, tied fifth, $378,525.
So he's tied with one with Auberg.
Yeah, so they both got the 378. But it does not say what their FedEx. Okay, here we go. Oh no, see now it says JJ Spawn got 500,000 FedEx Cup points. No, okay, no mind. They put zeros on the end of it. I apologize. So yeah, JJ got 500 FedEx points. Wallace, Kim, and McIntyre by tying got 208.333 FedEx points. Putnam and Auberg, 105 FedEx points for them as well. Yeah,
I just never seen a leaderboard like that.
I had to go to, by the way, PGA Tour had the same issue. I went to actually the Valero Texas Open website to get that information. Yeah, why doesn't the PGA Tour have it?
That's kind of weird. I know we got to top the hour, but before we go there, Steve, I know you don't want to miss this. Chicago Sky. They traded your girl.
They traded her?
They traded your girl, Angel Reese.
Now breaking right now?
To the Atlanta Dream for 2 first-round draft picks. Not going to be the same, Steve.
You want to know why?
Not going to be the same. Because she can't afford to live in Chicago.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay her.
Seriously,
that's why.
But she's living in a $9,000 a month apartment. So.
But you enjoy Atlanta more than. Oh, first of all, with her endorsement, she had enough to cover it. She was saying, I can't live off of this if I just had a WNBA. She wasn't living negative equity, folks. She just couldn't live off it. But no, I saw her salary was going to go up to, like Caitlin Clark's going up to 500. I don't know the exact 580,000 or something like that.
Maybe
Caitlin Clark's going up that, and Angel Reese was only going up to 360 or something like that $1,000. If you don't know, the Chicago. They play in a high school. They practice in a high school gym. They don't have their own facilities there. It's not the best organization to be a part of. They don't have the money.
So maybe she's happy.
They didn't want to pay her. Yeah. Have fun in Atlanta. That's worked out for Brittany Griner. That's worked out for Joe Johnson, who went to Atlanta. Atlanta's the place you go if you want to never be seen from again. Witness protection in Atlanta. When did that go down, by the way?
I don't know, just said right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Breaking news.
Yeah, just right now is when it went down.
I stay on top of things, Steve.
Well, the other thing is, like, they just announced that they're doing their, I didn't know if it was earlier today or now, but they just announced their free agency signing period. But they have 2 teams coming in. You can only protect a certain amount of players. Yeah. So most of your team is free agents this year because they can be drafted by these expansion teams.
Yeah.
And everything. So how do you sign players for free agency?
Well, you're obviously going to be able to protect a certain amount. I'm not going to tell you that I sat down and looked over the WNBA expansion.
I don't remember the number, but it's not as many as you think. Yeah. Maybe 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
But
I don't. Because they want the expansion teams to be at least credible.
To be decent, yeah. But that's just my point, though. If you're signing a free agent, does that mean, okay, well, I'm signing a free agent, that means you're protected. That means you're letting somebody else go. I am just like, why would you have the expansion draft first? Because you get something if you lose the player in the expansion draft. So if you want to unload somebody, make them available in the expansion draft. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand it. Somebody's way smarter than me. I'll have to figure that out. But it's Masters Week. We can watch Angel Reese miss layups 17 times and have 42 rebounds in a game.
20 of them being her own.
Come on. Yeah, Kobe. Go. Kobe's gonna throw in his 2 cents here. Kobe might be upset at us, Dale. See, there you go. See, Kobe's a smart guy. Says Carmelo Cardoso was way better anyway. Yeah. Well,
Hold on.
I was about to say
Hold on.
Kobe's a WNBA guy apparently.
I've got something to ask here.
Yeah.
We've had Kobe produce a show for a couple years now.
Yeah, Dale, I even have another follow up to this, but go ahead.
And have we ever heard his voice on air?
I think no. So
Ever.
So I have a dream, folks. that I want to put a camera in there and I want to put a microphone in there so they could chime in on air.
Yeah, but Kobe would not want a camera.
Kobe doesn't want to do it.
No, because he's texting and he's playing
his
games.
But no, because it was either Friday or it was when Ethan was here last. Somebody brought up that he needs to talk on air or whatever. He's like, I don't want to do it.
I like it, Kobe.
Yeah, I know he should chime in some more, man.
Yeah. So Kobe, what do you think Caitlin Clark's the best WNBA player?
He's all, who's Caitlin Clark? Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so he says yes, but he hasn't seen all the other point guards out there.
Right.
In terms of a shooter, she's the best one. But she's lacking in other areas that other people are good at, type of a deal. But yeah, Kobe, that's it. We're getting you a microphone, buddy. Moving forward. Yeah, it was funny.
How many times has he probably sat back there and his eyes are rolling going, these two old farts have no idea what they're talking about.
These knuckleheads are idiots.
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I'm pretty sure keep somebody laughing. At least it's him. But somebody I think it was last week brought it up that he needs to talk on the microphone. He's like, I don't. That's it. We're forcing it to happen, Dale. Come on back, guys. Second hour main event coming up next. Back here in the second hour. Dale will be here in just a second as well for him. We got Diamondbacks. We got some NFL stuff as well. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, I don't think Angel Reese is a bad basketball player. Just doesn't play my style of basketball that I like to watch for that. But I did watch a lot of Chicago Sky games because she was there. But yeah, no, she was traded for those 2 first-round draft picks as well. For 2-time rebounding champ Angel Reese this morning to the Atlanta Dream for them. So that is officially breaking now. And like I said, I haven't studied it enough. I just know you can only have so many players for this draft coming up, and obviously if you're trading, if you're trading for Angel Reese, regardless of what you give up, you're protecting her obviously. But free agency does start today as well for the WNBA out there also. So there we go.
All right, now we can move on. We can. Are we going to talk about your sons and your boy Dylan Brooks?
Let's just stick with basketball.
You know, your
Comes
guy.
back, just needs to just keep his nose clean. 2 technicals in his 3 games back now. 2 technicals, so he has to sit out the next one. My favorite part is all the articles were like, unless one gets rescinded.
Right.
They were both obvious technicals. So now he has to sit out a game coming up.
Yeah.
And then every 2 after that until the playoffs start. Then it's every 2 there. And things looking for him coming up. As we talk about, Suns did beat the Bulls yesterday. If you missed it, weird 12:30 start time. Our time is weird watching them during the day yesterday as well. 4 games remaining for your Phoenix Suns, Dale.
You know, and I heard somebody, it was somebody talking over the weekend. Now I can't remember who it was, so I want to give him credit. Because he described it perfectly. I've been thinking for the last 2 weeks about what's different about the Suns from the first half of the season, where I came in here almost every day, just bouncing around, beaming, happy, excited.
You're like a 9-year-old.
And the last month, I have not had any of those warm, fuzzy feelings.
It was a couple weeks before the All-Star game.
And he said, it looks like they're not playing with the joy that they played with earlier in the season. And that was one of my things. It looks like they're having fun playing with each other.
It happens in spurts now.
Yeah.
Whereas early in the year, it was like no matter how bad of a game it was, they looked like they were having fun.
You knew they were
Now
in it. They were competing. They were having fun. They were moving without the ball.
Now it's ebbs and flows.
Yes.
And one moment they'll be looking like they're having fun. Then they'll look like they're all too tight and not too taking it too serious and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I've noticed that too. But they beat the Bulls 120-110 yesterday as well.
Way too close of a game.
It was, you're just lucky they won today. They scored 34 points in the fourth quarter. Because when they lose, they only score 17, 20, 18 in that time frame. But Dylan Brooks has ramped all the way back up. 33 minutes yesterday, 15 points for him. In the game, Goodwin, of course, back here as well. 24 minutes for him, 12 points for his year. 5 for 5 field goals, 2 for 2 from three-point line as well for Jordan Goodwin for him. Mark Williams, 26 minutes yesterday, 14 points. 6 of 8 from the field for him. Also, I mean, then there's Booker, 5 of 22. When you're getting paid what you paid, whether you like to admit this or not, when you're getting paid what you're paid, you're the supposed leader of the team. I'm sorry, 9 of 22. I said 5, but it's 9 of 22. His shooting has just gone down. Like you've said it a lot. Double teams, you can't get out of them. He's forcing up contested shots when other guys are open. Other guys are standing around while he's double, triple teamed there. They're just standing around watching him do his thing to miss the shot. That's what you got to solve.
And therein lies the reason that you're not seeing these guys play with joy, because in the first half of the season, Devin Booker was not a ball hog. Devin Booker passed the ball. You had Jalen Green not playing a whole lot back then. He can be a ball hog too. So the ball tended to move more. Now it's passes to Devin. Okay, let's all stand around and dribble. Now he's double teamed. Now he's trying to throw the ball high somewhere. It's not fun.
Yeah. Takes some joy. Takes the joy out of watching them, let alone. Yesterday was the first game in a long time. I haven't watched the last 2 or 3 games, wire to wire. I just tune in occasionally because I'm just ready for the playoffs. But 12:30 yesterday, no racing on yesterday or anything. And, Diamondbacks game was coming on, and we'll talk about them coming up. But it's, I don't know.
Well, you look at Jalen Green, and boy, oh boy, does he have some talent. He has some talent. Now, can he harness it? Can he do it every night? All those questions need to remain to be answered. But he had 25 points, but he also had 6 turnovers. You can't have 6 turnovers. You're not the main ball handler.
They've been having a lot of turnovers lately.
It's like I sit there and watch this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Devin Booker also from that side of things. I'm looking it up here. Points. That's points off turnovers. Let me find it here. But they got out rebounded by the Bulls again yesterday, 46-41. Turnovers. Bulls had 18. Suns had 15 yesterday. For that. But here's the thing: points in the paint, 62 for the Bulls, 52 for the Suns. Points in the paint yesterday. In the playoffs, you're going to get dominated if that continues to happen out there, on your team and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just they could never like pull away from the Bulls. It's just like the Bulls just stayed in that game. The more it went on, maybe it was the noon thing. Maybe it was Easter, and they were all fat and happy after searching for Easter eggs or something. The Ritz Carlton.
Chicago's eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're eliminated. They're playing out the string.
Suns had 30 points in the first quarter, 33 in the second, 23 in the third, 34 in the fourth.
They have 4 games left to play. They're going to be missing Dylan Brooks in the next game,
which is the Rockets tomorrow night.
And you sit there and just look at this. Now, then the next question becomes, Steve, and I was thinking about this over the weekend. Clippers and Trailblazers are dead even.
Yeah, Kobe, throw the NBA standings up there so everybody can see what Dale's talking about.
They're dead even. Who do you want to play if you're the Suns?
Me personally, I'd rather see the Trailblazers than the Clippers.
Yeah, I guess because the Trailblazers don't have DeAndre Ayton anymore, so
because they don't have Kawhi Leonard, who can go off in a game. We saw that earlier this year. Now there's other players, but the length of the Clippers will bother the Suns. But I'll put it this way, Dale. I don't think it matters at this point. It's not a guaranteed victory, no matter which team you play.
Right.
Here's the other thing. Steph Curry just came back for the Warriors last night, and they're expected to go on a run now with him being back.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's going to get up there to the seventh, 8th seed with 5 games remaining, depending on the team. But I can tell you this: you don't want to lose that play-in game and have to face Golden State afterwards. For the same theory of the Clippers, they have a guy or two that can go off and beat you and knock you out. Yep. So this is getting dangerously close to flirtation of getting into this play-in round and not making it out of it if you're the Suns. That's dangerous. But I don't know, Dale. I'm not going to – I mean, look.
Well, and remember, if they lose the first play-in game, the first game in Dayton, if they lose that game, then that's where they play the play-in games all in Dayton. Like the college teams do, just so people understand.
I know. Who got that? I don't know if everybody got that.
Right. But if they lose that first play, then they're playing for the right to lose 4 more games to Oklahoma City.
To get blown out by Oklahoma City. Yes. Is it worth it at that point?
No.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100. And if they don't win the first one, just lose the second one because nobody wants to watch that Thunder sweep coming your way.
They at least are going to win a game, maybe 2 against San Antonio.
I legitimately think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you got Rockets tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Rockets have to keep winning. They're in a battle there as well. Now they can technically get to the 4 seed. They're a game behind the Nuggets. They're not going to move to the 6 seed.
Well, they could get to the 3rd seed with the Lakers losing Luka and
the white guy.
Austin Reeves.
I was going to say Kamaga, but I knew that wasn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Lakers are in serious trouble here. Nuggets will move up. That's the thing. So Rockets have a lot to play for tomorrow night. Then here's the other side of it, right? To finish up your season, then you've got a bad Mavericks team, which is ironic because Cooper Flagg is having a rookie. He's 19 years old, folks. He's doing things that no teenager's ever done. And we're talking Kobe, Kevin Garnett, no teenagers ever done before in the NBA. He's doing it, and nobody knows it because he plays for the Mavs, who are terrible this year. So you got the Mavs coming up next, right? And then you've got I forget who you got in between. Yeah, then you got the Lakers first. Wasn't sure which order this went in. The Lakers are in serious trouble. You could beat them, and then you've got the Thunder to finish your season. Thunder, by then, will have it clinched. So do they start resting guys that last game of the season or not? I mean, they're, 3 games up on the Spurs right now? They only have I think they only have 2 games left, if I know. trying to do math here real quick, Dale.
No, math is not.
They have
a
2
good
more
thing.
games left. Because 6 and 2 is 8. So they have 2 more games left. How many games do you play in this?
82. 82, Steve.
Well, that doesn't add up then.
Stop doing math.
70. They're at 78 right now.
Yes. They got 4.
4 games left.
Suns have 4 games
Yeah.
left.
Some teams have one. A couple
Some
teams
have
have
maybe 3.
Some have 5. But yeah, Suns of Oklahoma City have 4 left. So yeah, I know. Sorry, folks. We don't do math here. So tomorrow night game is going to be a playoff atmosphere if you want to be the Suns and battle it out. But then you got Mavericks, Lakers, both winnable games, especially with the Lakers injuries. Did you see Luka's going back to Europe
Spain, yeah.
to do, which means
He's
unapproved
out till the
treatments here
playoffs.
but unapproved treatment that can't be done here in America, but can be done over there. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it hasn't been approved here. A lot of NFL guys will do that too, folks, to be honest with you. So he's going over there to get it done with his eye of coming back for the playoffs. How long's Austin Reed going to be out? He's an integral part of that.
Totally.
So
but
that's
what I'm
a beatable
saying.
game.
So if you're Houston, you're Denver, you're telling me with you're
Well, they're
Denver's
tied.
tied with the Lakers,
Denver,
and
yeah.
Houston's 1 game behind them.
Yeah, you can move up a couple
And
spots.
you get up to that 3rd spot.
You want to avoid the Thunder as long as humanly possible.
Yes.
Playoffs is what you want to do.
But 3rd, 4th, remember, you're hosting a playoff
Yeah,
series.
that's the other side of it. Yeah. So, the Thunder game at the end, I expect them to have it wrapped up. But the Mavericks Lakers are winnable. Tomorrow night, Houston's just going to be a playoff atmosphere. Go beat the Rockets tomorrow night without Dylan Brooks.
Don't like it, Steve.
Well, here's the problem. When the playoffs come, you get 2, and you get suspended. I'm pretty sure it's 2, and then you're suspended. If you're playing the Thunder, you're only going to play in 2 games.
Well, it's like I've told you. I have mixed feelings about it because I know when I played, I got technical. And I tried to play a game when everybody tried to change me.
Yeah.
And I didn't play good. That was me.
But I have a problem. 90 seconds into his return game.
Hey, I don't know what you can get worked up in 90 seconds. I mean, at least give me a quarter and a half.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 90 seconds or whatever it was, 92, whatever it was. But it was a minute and a half into the game and gets his first technical when he comes back. Like, really, dude? Really? And I get it. He was defending Booker or whatever because Booker was being trash talk and stuff. But I agree with you. You got to play on that edge and everything. But at the same time, you got to also realize what's happening and to you and stuff to that effect. Also, so hey, we've got a ton of NHL playoff teams, Dale, that we're starting to know and starting to learn about. Interesting thing happening in the NHL. The Golden Knights, with 9 games left, fired their coach, Bruce Cassidy. They brought in Tortellini. I call him Tortellini. It's kind of like a joke because I have a hard time saying his real name as well. But he's in there in Vegas. Vegas has a locker room problem. I watched the last 2 Vegas games.
Yeah.
And there's no cohesion in that locker room. They just don't want to be there anymore. It's been interesting.
Really?
Even with the coaching change. Because Bruce Cassidy took it as he lost that locker room, and even the coaching change. People aren't high-fiving other players, giving them knuckles and stuff when they're going off the ice. And then they are in the playoffs right now. The New York Islanders fired their head coach with 4 games to go. And they're in the playoffs. Hired Peter DeBois. There as well DeBoer for the Islanders. So let's fire our coaches right before the playoffs. See if we can get a heightened turn here coming up. Fascinating to see that happen in hockey.
Actually, just so you know,
Patrick Waugh.
The Islanders are 1 point out of a wild card.
Well, then that happened since yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Because when they got fired, they were in the playoff spot.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Okay, so it did. They must have played last night. I didn't see it. Patrick Waugh was fired. Interesting enough, he took over that job a couple years ago, halfway through the season. So, hey, when you cheat, expect to be cheated on. going to say at some point when you get fired that way. But the big news is Tampa Bay Lightning clinched the playoff spot. Montreal Canadiens clinched a playoff spot. Carolina Hurricanes clinched a playoff spot in the East over the weekend. You know who else clinched a playoff spot this weekend, Dale? Been a long time since they last did it. You played there in the NFL. You were drafted by the city in that team.
The Buffalo Sabres.
They ended their 14-season playoff drought. They have clinched a playoff spot here.
Good
as well.
for them. Aren't you happy for them?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, those games were good. They had that goaltender that I'm completely forgetting his name right now that was lights out. That tells me that was about 14 years ago because that was the last time they were good. Which makes one team holds the record for most consecutive seasons in North America without a playoff appearance. Dale, what would that team be?
Are you saying in any sport?
Any sport.
For some reason, I think you're leading me to a local team, but
I am not.
Because they've all done it since then.
Yeah.
Jets?
Jets. 15 years without a playoff appearance, which amazes me because in my mind, those years with not Matt Ryan, the head coach guy, and the kid from USC, my mind just went blank. Well, they made the AFC Championship game like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, with Ryan, the Ryan guy.
There we go, Rex Ryan. There we go. To me, that happened like a year ago.
Yes, it seemed like I would say 5 years.
Obviously, it's been it's been 15 years or so at least to get to that point. Holy crap! Yeah. To me, it just feels like it's a recent phenomenon from that side. Yeah, so Buffalo Sabres moving the Jets up into that deal, but your Buffalo Sabres making the playoffs for the first time this season as well. So,
well, guess who else is going, Steve?
Who?
Your Utah Mammoth.
Not officially yet, Dale.
Yeah, Steve, it's pretty official. It's pretty. You might as well go get your playoff shirt.
They've been there. No, because I'm a Knights fan.
Yeah, but you're also a Phoenix, Utah.
You know what though? I can go to a Diamondbacks game and watch half the stadium. I guess I can go to Salt Lake and watch half the stadium. What's the difference?
Wow. Best owner in sports.
Apparently Ken Kendrick launched himself up into that realm as well. Yeah, go Jazz. Am I right?
Wow.
But no, the Mammoth are going to make the play. We've known that for about a month now. They've ran away with the wild card there as well. And actually, because they are in the Central there, the problem that the impressive thing is for Utah is that they have the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, and the Minnesota Wild all in their conference there, and they all have like 100 points. Avalanche have 110, Stars are 102, Wild are 100, Mammoth are 86. So they got through all of that nonsense there, and still are going to make the playoffs here for them. I mean, it's as official as it's going to be without it being official.
Right.
The Nashville Predators are behind them, along with the Kings at 81 points. So they're going to battle it out for that last playoff spots here coming up. But yeah, look at that. All you had to do was be sold to a half arena. If that was the case, they could have just gone back to the Footprint Center, whatever that place is called.
The Morgue.
Yeah, the Morgue. You could have just moved back there and had a playoff team. If that's all it takes is half the stadium doesn't get to see you, Dale.
It's only 5%.
It's like 6,000 people. Now they're going to be selling playoff tickets. Get your playoff tickets here. Get your playoff tickets here. What do you mean I
Steve,
can't see half the ice?
I think you should take the show on the road.
You want me to go do it? I'll look at the schedule.
Go to Salt Lake City.
I'll do it. I'll fly up there real quick. 12-hour drive, or I'll fly up there. I'll go to a game. You want me to do it? We'll look at the schedule.
You can do Salt Lake City and you can do Vegas before they get eliminated.
Oh, then drive. You see both elimination games?
Yeah.
I won't waste my time with Vegas if they're not doing well because it's fun. Just so expensive to roll through Vegas now. It's ridiculous. Should I get now if I do a Mammoth game because it's got to work in the schedule because the problem with hockey playoffs, and I even had this problem with Vegas, is they'll play like home games like Tuesday, Thursday. Well, neither of those work.
Yeah, you do your show on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I'll do it from live from up there, outside of the best owner. But then, but no. So
wear
now,
all your Coyotes gear.
Wear the mullet hair I got the first time they played in Mullet Arena.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. There's your hockey update as well. Interesting enough, as I told you, Sabres make the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. Montreal's going to make the playoffs. Your Florida Panthers won the last 2 Stanley Cups, Dale. Eliminated from the playoffs. They're the only Big Four. So this would be MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL. The Big Four, sports. The Panthers are the only team in those Big Four this century to win back-to-back titles, but miss the playoffs altogether the following season. Because most teams that win back-to-back still make the playoffs. They get eliminated pretty early in those playoffs. Usually is what happens to them. So last time it happened prior to the Panthers doing it this year. Well, the Bulls won 3 straight titles. Everybody retired. They missed the playoffs in the 99 season. That was when Michael Jordan retired. But they won 3 in a row and then lost out. And then the Broncos won back-to-back titles and missed the playoffs in 99. Same problem. John Elway retired after winning those back-to-back Super Bowls. So usually nobody on the Panthers retired, Dale. They just weren't. All of the long, hard-fought hockey games to win 2 championships just got up.
Yeah.
They were injured this year. They were beat up. Didn't have the chance. But it took retirements in the other leagues for it to happen.
Well, hockey's a tough sport to play all those extra games at that level, and I've heard Lou talk about it. The fact that there's no comparison between regular season hockey and postseason hockey.
Completely different sports. It is amazing how the sport changes when the playoffs come.
Well, I'm going to get into it because I'm going to get my Utah stuff.
I do like their mammoth logo, man. That white mammoth head on. I do like that jersey.
Yeah.
I don't do jerseys unless they're given to me, but all right, I'll have to see who they play and what the schedule's like. Do I get obstructive view seats or do I get regular seats?
I want you to get an obstructive view seat.
I'm not spending that much for obstructive view seats. Can we do a GoFundMe?
You go get a seat, but you got to go sit and watch at least 2 minutes behind the obstructive view and video it.
Well, that I can do. That I can do up there as well. So there we go, folks. Your hockey update as well. 10 teams. I'm sorry, that's the NFL. That's your hockey update. Now let's talk a little NFL. Dale.
Yeah.
You ready?
Hey.
10 teams. I forgot that 10 teams got new head coaches. 10 teams with new head coaches start voluntary workouts this week. Because you get to start early when you have a new head coach.
Yes.
Interesting news out of Baltimore this weekend.
They're not.
This week. No, they're starting it. And Lamar Jackson has reported for voluntary workouts. Generally, your star quarterback does not show up even with the new head coach. They have other things to do. Lamar Jackson is showing up for the Ravens this weekend with their new head coach.
Well, he's under contract, number 1. Number 2.
That's voluntary.
Don't you want to get off on the right foot?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Not just him, because there's obviously a new playbook and everything that he needs to learn. But doesn't that send the message to the rest of the team? Hey guys, new coach here. We're gonna rebound this now. We're gonna fight through this, and we're gonna be good again this year and stuff like that. Isn't that the message you're sending by showing up as the number 1 quarterback? Also,
yes. And folks, let me tell you what these off-season workouts are. All right, I mean, you show up, you'll get your weight workout in, you'll have about an hour meeting, you'll go out in the field in whatever little jumpsuit you got, and you're going to run through some plays. You might do a couple of position drills. The workout's going to last about an hour, and you're out. You're out by noon.
Isn't it mainly just here's your new playbook? This is what we do differently. And then he stands in front of it and he goes, "Anybody take the bus? Anybody take an Uber over here?
Wow.
You get that fire in your belly? Anybody?
You don't forget those type of
Anybody?
things. Do you?
Which coach is going to do that today? Is the bigger question. Yeah, so Lamar Jackson showing up. I tell you
Good
this,
for him.
he didn't show up in other years. I'll put it that way. Things. So that's it. Obviously, Cardinals' new head coach as well. But all 10 teams can, start this week. Everybody else, I think, is next week.
And I understand why you do it. I understand the logic behind it. You really get better. Well, if we can't run a whole new offense and defense, it's nice to get a jump start on it. I've always been, how many different things can you do in football?
April 20th, by the way, is the the veteran mini camp and stuff.
So when are the Cardinals starting? They got a new coach.
Yeah, I'm assuming this week. I haven't heard. Yes. No, but like I said, when you have a new head coach, I think it's more of just get the team together.
Yeah.
Here's our philosophy. He's already talked to LaFleur's already talked to everybody. So April 7th, which is tomorrow, the Cardinals, Falcons, Bills, Browns, Raiders, Dolphins, Giants, Steelers, and Titans are on that. Ravens are today for them. Everybody else is tomorrow.
Oh, maybe because of Easter. Some of them are religious
Extra day off.
franchises.
Especially Vegas. So Cardinals are more, but I imagine it's those philosophies. Seeing who took a bus into the facility, that's important to know.
That was training camp, Steve.
Doesn't matter.
That was training.
It doesn't matter. It's just
that's a little different.
It's
than
the stupidest bet I've ever seen
voluntary
in my
off-season
life.
workouts.
He's like, yeah, you guys feel that fire in your belly? No, actually, Coach, you put me to sleep. The first time meeting you. Hey, interesting discussion happened this weekend that kind of caught my eye. I don't have any audio or anything on it, but your buddy, longtime, quarterback, Troy Aikman,
Yeah.
does his broadcasting stuff, and he was hired by the Miami Dolphins to go in there and help them out. He didn't really say what his role is there, but he did say they hired him because he has access to things that other teams don't have and knowledge that other teams don't have.
Or that Miami doesn't have of other teams.
Of other teams, yes.
Yeah.
Like how other teams operate, how do
Yeah.
we improve, which makes sense, right?
Yes.
You go hire these guys to come in. Tom Brady with the Raiders is another example.
Mm-hmm.
He can look at it. He visits. Tom Brady talked to the Atlanta Falcons this year about, and saw Kirk Cousins up close, talked to him. There's a relationship there, and all of a sudden, where's Kirk Cousins playing this year, at least as a backup? Tom Brady's team.
No.
But what I found interesting about this conversation, because it makes sense, he then said, hey, I'm rooting for the Dolphins. I've learned a lot about them. I learned how their organization. I met their owner, Stephen Ross. And he talks all the hypes about the Dolphins, which he should do because he's on their payroll. I get that. Which brings me to my next point. Where's Jerry Jones at in this process? Jerry Jones doesn't need something like that. You mean to tell me Troy Aikman wouldn't have rather done this with the Cowboys than the Dolphins?
I would think that would be his first choice. I also know that he knows how Dallas runs.
That's issue number 2. He knows better than anybody, right?
And his voice would just be non-existent.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is stupid.
That's kind of where I'm going towards. Doesn't that just show the ineptitude of
Yes.
the Cowboys coach ownership?
Yes, and everybody's like, oh, you got to sell the team. These owners don't just sell the team.
Folks, they're making a crap ton of money. Going 500, or in the Cardinals' case, Michael Bidwell's making a crap ton of money winning 3 games.
Actually, probably more than if he's winning the playoff game.
Well, did I talk about this when you were here last year? I read this big article on how in baseball these private equity firms are buying, or people that run private equity firms are buying baseball teams, like the Red Sox, for instance. The Red Sox ownership make no bones about it. We make more money when we lose.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
We make a lot more money when we lose than if we do. And that's the mindset of private equity firms. That's why I try not to shop at companies like Subway. I don't go to Subway anymore. Private equity firm. All they care about is the bottom dollar. Prices go up, buns shrink, they go cheaper on all their stuff. It
Give you
becomes gross and stuff
one
like that.
less slice of thinly sliced turkey.
The 12 inches now 9 inches and stuff. And it costs you, instead of $5, now it costs you $15 because they cram every dollar out of it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But it's fascinating. And I've said that all along. Jerry Jones is perfectly fine going 500 every couple of years competing for a playoff spot, whether he makes it or not. He's perfectly fine doing that because he makes so much money doing that, and stuff to that effect. But it just says more, though, not just the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are easy to put Troy towards on that. But it goes to what I said about the Cardinals last year. Now, this year, the coaching staff has hired a couple consultants to come in and work with the coaching staff and things. On the defensive side, they did that. So they're at least looking that way. Why aren't any of these teams? Forget about if they played for a year now. You mean the Cardinals couldn't benefit from the knowledge of Troy Aikman? And those types of guys on their team. It's just, why are more of these guys not doing it? There's only one reason. They just don't want to spend the money.
And Miami's not paying him $10 million a year to do this. I know that he wants to start getting involved. He knows.
Well, his broadcast is going away soon.
He's probably got maybe at the most 5 years left in the broadcast booth.
They eventually kick you out.
And then they're going to replace him with some, because he's not John Madden. He's not going to be there in perpetuity. And I think at the end of the day, his entire post-playing career, he's wanted to be in the front office and help shape a team and all that.
I think he would be one of the smart. Generally, I don't want players in GM roles and stuff. There's obviously been some good ones. Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah.
And Baltimore was, if not the greatest, one of the greatest to ever do it. I think Troy would be one of those great guys that would do it as well. Maybe not as a GM role, but somebody to help out a team. And I think he'll be successful with it. But I'm just shocked and floored here that he's sitting there just praising the throws of the Dolphins. And it's an undefined role. But Matt Ryan's doing it in Atlanta now.
Yeah. But his it seems more
president of football operations.
Yeah, like he's got a title and he gave up his TV stuff.
No, he's working. If it fails, it's going on to his head. And he's more of a Derek Hall, if you want to equate it to Diamondbacks, than he is a GM. But obviously you carry a lot of weight at that position as well, right?
Right.
When you go into that stuff. But I don't know. I just found it fascinating this weekend. It just goes to show you. My argument on this is a lot of your NFL teams don't care if they win or not. And Cardinals are one of them. I mean, do they want to win? Yeah. They want to win on their terms.
Well, they want to win on their terms. And
spending a ton of money and that stuff.
And again, I don't know the answer to this, but the Cardinals are $178, almost $180 million under the cap this year.
Right now they're 40. That'll be next year.
Next year, $180 million.
They're 41 or 42. I looked it up yesterday.
Does that just go in Bidwell's pocket, or how does that work?
Yeah, less expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
and they won 3 games. Now,
I mean, does it go into his pocket? Yeah, less expenses. So it just means he makes more money. It's my theory on the Clippers. I know I'm jumping sports here. Clippers spent all that money on Kawhi Leonard and all that. Don't win anything. But you know what he got out of it? Brand new state-of-the-art stadium he's making a crap ton of money on.
Well, he did that. And
then the team becomes a write-off. If you lose money with the team, it becomes a write-off type of a situation. So then you can go against how much you're making at the company on that. It's just we are getting to the age of, in sports, your owner doesn't care if they win or not. They're making so much money, they don't care.
All I know is the last time I really thought about this was, I know in the 90s when we were in the Super Bowls, it was public knowledge that the Cowboys were not making as much money as the Cardinals, who never made the playoffs.
Yes.
Because there were expenses involved with going to the playoffs.
Yes. You make more money but you spend more money.
Yeah.
If I may use a Patrick Ewing comment there from their strike at one point. But not just that, but you have to obviously more payroll, more coaching staff, more scouts, more of that stuff. There's ways to save money on that bag. Like the Lakers for a lot of years when Jeannie Buss took over the team, didn't have a scouting department. They didn't want to have a scouting department. That's just extra money going out at that point. Look at the Athletics, right? If you've seen the movie Moneyball. Don't care about what you scouts say. This is what we're doing. We don't even need you here at this point. We're going to save money there. They just don't want to win. The guy running that owns the Athletics is making money hand over fist every year. It's going to get even bigger. Mark Davis is making money hands over fist in Vegas. He doesn't care if he wins or not. Because you know why? Because the stadium sells out every weekend because visiting fans show up there. And the casinos buy all the tickets to get in there. There's not a lot of secondary market.
Right.
He doesn't care if he has to put all this money into the team to go on this big sustained run. He doesn't care. He's making it already. It's just, I don't know. The Troy talking about that with the Dolphins just kind of opened my eyes up even more than it already is this weekend. Your owner doesn't care. They'll pretend they care. In their eyes, they don't care if their team wins 3 games or 8 games or 10 games for the most part. Like Jerry Jones never wants to win 3 games because he actually will take a hit at that point. But he wants to win 8, 9, right, to be in that 500 spot. But they don't care about that because you know where they're competing and what levels. What level is Matt Ishbia competing at? He's not competing. Yeah, he's competing against the Bucks and the Lakers and the Thunder and all that stuff on the court. But you know what else he's competing? He's competing against that other owner. He's competing against the owner of the Thunder. Yeah, well, you might win on the basketball court. I got a lot more money than you do. I have a lot more assets than you do, or worth more than you do. That's where they're competing.
That
on those
will
levels.
buy you a cup of coffee. Give me Oklahoma City with 19 number 1 picks coming up over the next 5 years and the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, it's a whole nother level that they're competing at in terms of, all right, great, you went on the court. But you know what? I also banked $1 billion more than you did this year. So, all right, have fun on that court, buddy. See you later.
No, I've always said this about owners. You could probably take a handful in each league, no more than 10, but between 5 and 10, who desperately want to win.
Yes.
And will do whatever they think that they have to or told that they have to try to win.
Mark Cuban was one of those guys, especially early on. He changed that as he got older.
Yes.
But that was him originally. His attitude changed as he got, that's the thing. Then he started realizing, I don't have to do all of this. I want to win, but I don't need to go to this next level to compete with this side of stuff. So I'm perfectly fine being here. And look, the stadium's still sold out. I'm still selling all this stuff and everything. And I'm now focusing on all my other stuff. And then speaking of that, another proof and point, your Diamondbacks, they think that that's what the fans wanted, Dale, ribbon boards around that place and everything. Because in their mind, Dale, they're not winning on they're not putting the money in the baseball team. They could have put that ribbon money into the team. You know why they didn't? Well, because we're gonna show the fans how much we care about them by putting ribbon boards in there. Yeah, we messed up and blocked some of the seats in our longtime season ticket. Who cares? They'll get over it. We'll issue them refunds if we have to. But you know what? We're going to be the talk of the baseball with our 10th biggest sport out there. And now we're better than all these other teams we're competing with out there. When I go to those owner meetings, we're going to be talking about that and what I did and the company we bought it through and stuff.
Well, all I'm going to tell you about the Diamondbacks is they're 5-5. They're second in the NL West, Steve.
Oh, thanks for the Giants sucking.
5-5, Steve.
You know what I've
learned?
You know what I've learned at least early in this season? You don't go to college to hire your next baseball manager. Giants.
Oh.
Doesn't mean he might turn it around, but that team is not jiving right now. And it almost looks like, I watched a couple of their games this week, it almost looks like he's lost.
Well, Torey Lovullo ain't lost. Bring them home 5-2 over the homestand. Come on, Steve.
5
Give
and
them
5.
some credit.
5-5 by playing the Braves, the Tigers, and the Dodgers is fantastic.
You got to be happy about that.
Absolutely. And 5-5 with your. Here's the downside: 5-5 with top. I think it's top 6 ERA for your starting pitching. But that's bad because you should have a better record if your pitchers are that good. But 5-5 with one of the worst ERAs for the bullpen as well. On top of it, 5-5 with some games you score 2 runs, some games you score whatever their most amount was, a lot. It's fantastic. They are where they should be against these good teams. It's fantastic to see them start this season.
Yes, so let's keep it at that because I know you want to say something negative. I know you. It's at the tip of your tongue.
Just imagine where this team would be if they put any money and effort into the bullpen.
It wouldn't have mattered against the Dodgers. It wouldn't have mattered 17-2 against Detroit.
Or you mean that was the Braves.
The Braves, 17-2. Yeah, because they swept.
Yeah. Erod, fantastic outing on Friday night. They didn't get the win in that game because the bats just couldn't get going for that. Here's the other side of it. They're 5-5. They went up against Yamamoto. I'll name all 3 Dodgers pitchers, right? Skubal for Detroit on top of that.
Yeah. Beat him 1-0, Steve.
They're 5-5 going against the best pitchers out there. This isn't the middle of the season where you can miss one of the best guys. They're hitting them right now.
Right.
And 5-5, you cannot be upset. Now you can nitpick it, and also like I was just doing. You can nitpick it with a bullpen's ERA, and some games they can't hit, other games they can't hit. It's a weird dynamic. Here's the other side. If they got out fairly healthy, I mean, they lost Lawler for 6 to 8 weeks. What's that going to do for his season?
Imagine that.
That's actually a bigger loss than you'll give him credit for.
He hit 1 home run.
Are you going? But you need him to play for the time. Santana is going in, staying behind. He's not going to New York. He's staying behind for imaging, which tells you Santana is going to be out for a while. Folks.
That was something weird. I saw that at bat. Was it a swing or even a check swing?
Swing, yeah.
And
I think
it looked like a groin to me.
It was. They said it was right groin tightness.
Okay.
But I can tell you this: if he's staying behind for imaging, they're expecting him to be.
Yeah, but then you talk about toughness factor. So he stayed in the game, got a hit.
Yeah.
And hobbled towards first base, and they took him out. But he didn't immediately come out. I feel a tinge. I feel now. Was that the right thing to do or not? But
did you make it
worse or not?
That's the question.
You look at their season. They get swept by the Dodgers. Then they come back home, sweep the Tigers. Then they lose 17-2, 2-0 to the Braves, and then salvage the series.
Yeah. Go 2-2 in it.
Yeah.
Fight back and get 2-2. And yesterday, Marte, who's had a terrible start to the season in terms of batting, right, gets the first pitch hit there in the 10th to score the run as well. 2 for 5 yesterday. He's batting 184 on the year. I had a problem with him being the leadoff guy anyway. To me, Carroll's the leadoff guy. Marte can be second, possibly, if you want him to be there. But even then, Perdomo could be the leadoff guy.
Yeah.
And you can move Marte down to the 3rd spot. It's even more prevalent now. And I get it. Torrey's going to say, well, we have faith in Marte. He's going to snap out of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can't have a guy batting 184 as your leadoff guy. With a guy hitting 313 that can hit doubles and triples and home runs in that 2nd spot.
But
you're wasting that opportunity.
But is that more conducive to Carroll, that slotting, than when you go in the 1st spot?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. There's a move Perdomo up.
Okay, yeah, but I'm not sure I'm messing with where Carroll's batting right now.
So put Perdomo up.
Yeah, and that I'll be okay with that.
But I have to take it different because Perdomo's only hitting 182 on this season. He's having more timely hits. He's moving the ball around a little bit more than Marte is. Marte is strikeout or dribbler to shortstop.
Or hammer to the right field fence to win a game.
Maybe this wakes him up. But it's just an interesting Just a little side note here on what they're doing. And I know we all know Torrey by now. Torrey's going to give Marte every opportunity in that leadoff spot to turn this around.
Yeah, we're what 10 games into a 162 game season.
Here's the other side. Santana goes out. I saw Torrey's comments on oh my gosh, I forgot his name. What is wrong with him? The kid down in AAA that's never been in AAA. Starts with a W. Holy cow, he's grinding. He's just dominating down there in AAA right now.
I don't know.
I know you're not going to remember. He was a young kid. Oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. But there's a kid down in AAA. Starts with a W, and I apologize. I just forgot it, folks. I'm hitting my wall. And he's down there. And they didn't call him up when Lawler was hurt. And everybody asked him, why did you call him up? Torrey's like, well, he's going to show us when he wants to call up, and he needs to be more seasoned down there. Call him up now. If Santana's out, call him up now. Get him up here, position-wise. Get him up here. Do what he can do. At least get a taste of it before you send him down as well. There's the bad part is you're on a road trip now. And that'll be their excuse to not call him up.
I was just looking at their pitchers, and again, kind of a mixed bag, but I think that all 5 starters have shown that they can pitch.
Everybody, Ryan Nelson's the only one probably that you have question marks, but you have confidence with his previous pitch. He's the one guy that you have confidence with his previous pitching. He's going to
over the last couple of years. But if you're James McCann with your 45 ERA in 1 inning, do you think
he's retiring?
Do you think he ever gets a chance?
No, he's going to retire with the 45 ERA.
You think?
Doesn't that make you? Doesn't that kind of? I get it. It's like a funny little thing, but isn't that stupid to do that to him?
Who cares? He's not a pitcher.
Here's the other thing I liked about yesterday's game. Look, I call him lasagna. You know, everybody does, like as kind of like a joke. But he blew that save in the 9th inning. And what the Diamondbacks do? That's all right. We'll pick you up, kid. We'll win it in the 10th for you.
Yeah,
we're good to go. I do like that. I do like that attitude of the Diamondbacks that we saw yesterday for the first time. I know somebody blew a save in the 8th inning, earlier in the season, but it's easier to come back in the 8th than it is in the 9th when you blow that save because you can tend to have a letdown and stuff to that effect as well. Brendan Pfaadt only made it 4 2/3 of an inning yesterday at those 3 earned runs as well. But I don't have a problem with his pitching necessarily. With that 6th inning, he gave up 5 runs in his first start. He's stretching it out a little bit from that side. So I'm not unhappy with the Diamondbacks to start the season at 5-5 before. I mean, this is a brutal road trip for them coming up as well, right? They got the Mets for 3. Let me figure. Mets for 3. Then the Phillies for 3. Then you got the Orioles for 3, all on the road and everything. Before you come back home and you got the Blue Jays. Before you have the White Sox. This is a brutal stretch. You come back 500 from this stretch, Dale, you're going to be all right.
Right.
You're going to be all right.
Well, and the thing is, they're going to do it, and there's going to be weather involved. There's storms that go through there, the Northeast, and it'll be interesting to see how many games they get in, how many are postponed, how many are delayed.
You're going that route? Dang. Just how many end because the Rats, steal the ball and run off with it in Philadelphia?
Wow.
Don't act like you didn't see
What?
You didn't see those Rats there when you were there.
No, we just killed them.
Did you? You guys smashed them with your hands?
No, I don't know if I ever saw a rat in the locker room.
Really?
At the old vet. Saw a lot of other things.
I forgot that was the old vet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't their new state of the art.
Yeah, nowadays they probably have giant traps or something to get them. So you got Zach Gallen going tomorrow against Freddie Peralta with the Mets tomorrow. So your standard lineup coming up as well. Then Ryan Nelson, Merrill Kelly. They say one more rehab start before he comes back up, which means Thursday.
Yeah, they'll bring him up. I mean, I saw a little bit yesterday. I heard Lovello talking. The last thing you want is to bring him up one start early, and something happened, and then he has to go back.
Because he pitched Friday, and then he's pitching again Thursday. So does that tell you? Does that tell you? Well, that tells me they're happy with their current starting prospects, so we don't have to rush them up.
I think it's a couple fold. I think it's that. I think it's also the fact that you like with we're flipping sports, but with the Suns guy who pulled his hamstring.
Oh, Green.
Yeah, and they brought him back, and then one game, and he's out again, and that sucks.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure he gets 2 starts under his belt. He's got 5-6 innings in him. Then we bring him up.
All right. I don't know. It tells me. I agree with you on that, but it also tells me they're comfortable with their current starters.
And why wouldn't you be?
A little bit longer, and things to that effect. So, and this team, look, the starters are just going to get better with Merrill Kelly coming back up as well. And whoever loses their spot,
it won't be for long. There'll be somebody else that goes down.
I'm glad you said it, because you always yell at me when I say that.
Yeah.
Stuff. So I'm glad you said it from that side. So appreciate everybody joining us here on this Masters Week Monday, Dale.
Ooh, Steve, you got me excited.
We got the McCollum on Business up on demand right now, and also on the YouTube page. Follow us, TME Media AZ on YouTube. Of course, we're on Rumble as well for The Real Matrix on Fridays. New episodes are posted. It's up, rumble.com/user/TME Media is where you can find that. We are going to start putting our sports stuff on there as well, since we're utilizing it anyway. Just another way because I had a couple people reach out and go, I don't use YouTube for anything. Well, we'll put it on Rumble for you as well. Don't forget the free podcast systems and everything. And I know, Dale, 2 more sleeps. We'll have the par 3 tournament going on there at the Masters.
Yeah, I don't get as excited about that. It's fun to watch for a little bit. I just want good weather, because there's nothing like Augusta, Georgia, and that golf course when it's sunny and
you hear the birds chirping.
I think they
gunshots from outside the walls in Augusta.
Yeah, I think they import some birds to make those sounds.
So when I went one time, Augusta was just as god awful horrible place. It was run down.
Yes, right outside the gate.
Yeah. I'm not talking the whole city.
Yeah.
There's some nice parts to it, but yeah, it's not in the best neighborhood. But I was talking to Autumn about this, and I just looked it up because it's been 10 plus years, 15, 20 years since I've been there, whatever it's been. And so I was like, maybe it's changed. I looked it up. And it looks like they're trying to improve it. All those, because everybody's trying to buy houses so they can rent them out for the Masters.
And make their mortgage payment in a 7 days.
So it is getting cleaned up a little bit from that. But that's why I'm always going to joke around about the gunshots and stabbing outside the walls, though. I remember we actually stayed in a house, you got shuttled to and back, and they flat out told you, do not leave the grounds unless you're getting in the bus, the shuttle to go back to the place you're staying.
I think there's a magical force field around there. The gunshots can't come over the walls.
Well, we never heard of that or anything, but it is an amazing thing with the type. I mean, go up to Moon Valley, folks, and look at the houses around Moon Valley. They're well kept. Moon Valley Country Club keeps their neighbors.
I'd say go further up north, Desert Mountain, Estancia.
I just wanted to throw it out there.
There's a lot nicer.
Hey, so really quick. So I saw your picture yesterday, family picture.
Yes.
700 people in your family now? Is that what I counted? By the way, I got stressed out looking at Dale's pictures.
Yeah, we had 16 people at the Moon Valley brunch. Now that is, so who it was Brooke and I, and then our 2 daughters and their husbands, and Hillary now is fixing to have her third kid.
2.5. She's got 2.5.
Yeah, about 2 3/4.
Is it that far along
it's
already?
in May. Yeah,
it's May. Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
And so I noticed she's got a show wants people to know.
I really noticed she wore the dress she wore shows it off.
Yes, and so then my brother now, his 2 daughters have boyfriends, and so there's 5 of them now, and
then
a
fiance,
and then Scott's parents came in, and so
from San Francisco, right, or Northern California,
Bay Area.
Yeah. Folks, I'm looking at this picture, going, oh, it's got all stressed out last. That's why I couldn't sleep last night. I was like, that's a lot of people.
And my boy Graham was.
Yeah, they got big. How was the birthday thing for them?
They had birthday on Friday, dueling birthday parties. Graham and Beckett.
They've invited me.
You would not have come.
I would have just stopped by giving them extra epic presents.
they need another present like they need a freaking hole in the wall.
I would have just handed it.
We had
I just
you're
spent out
just
some
a
bills.
cash guy.
Yeah, that's all I do.
But Scott has a big GMC truck. The whole back was filled. Had to fill my back. Had to fill Hillary's back of her
For a
truck.
birthday?
For 2 birthdays.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. See, the way we grew up, my generation, is birthdays were like, here's your 2 gifts.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
6 and 4, and it was at this jump place, and they each had 2, 3 ring stack things.
You know what the
They
problem
put the present in.
6 and 4. You know what the problem is with this?
Yeah.
You have to get bigger every year the older they get. You've already set the standard too high.
Well, that's what I've tried to tell Hillary.
That was my philosophy on Christmas. Like when they're babies, you get them a bunch of stuff because it's fun to watch baby. They don't care about it.
Oh.
But
They
then
play
like
with the
no,
boxes.
you just you start small,
Yes.
and then you can ramp up the size of them, but you keep it small to the point where my kids know they're only getting like 2 or 3 things. Now they're going to be expensive because they're of that age,
Right.
but you're only getting 2 or 3 things.
No, you look at. Actually, Hillary told me, I'm embarrassed to admit, but they both still have a couple gifts from their birthday last year. There were so many gifts to open.
Oh, to be a hellish.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So you had a lot of people there. I was getting all stressed out.
Then Graham had his baseball game on Saturday. He hit a liner down the first baseline, hit a liner down the third baseline.
Now, was Scott's parents in town? Were they there for that?
Yes.
So were you guys doing that parent thing where you guys are like, woo, woo?
No.
Guys are high-fiving, hugging each other, jumping around?
They've done such a nice job that they have walk-up music for the kids.
Yeah, that's the new thing.
And that's fun to watch. But you just give them, hey, go Graham Tate. And,
whatever. You guys are jumping around, trying to outshine the other grandparents.
no, me and the other
Graham,
grandparents.
you love us better. Look at us celebrate better.
Me and the other granddad just sit there and we'll give a polite clap when he gets a hit or whatever.
Then you guys just keep talking?
Yeah.
What do you guys talk about?
You.
No, what do you really talk about? You probably do talk about me. But what
Life.
else do you really talk about? I'm just curious what...
Two father-in-laws.
Yeah, you just complain about the kids. Oh, I remember when Scott was a kid. That's what my dad does. My dad did that to me yesterday.
But see, our kids are pretty good.
My dad started talking about yesterday. He confused. He's at the age where he confuses which kid did what. He's talking about stuff yesterday. I'm like, Dad, that is blame. And I'm like, Dad, that wasn't me. He's like, oh, it was you. I'm like, why would I lie about it?
Because you would lie.
No, not now. Back then I would have, but now I wouldn't. I'd admit it. What am I gonna do? Get in trouble? You're gonna ground me? So I was just like, Dad, you're wrong. You're wrong. And my brother's over there like smiling and laughing. And I'm like, you can admit it's you, Tiger.
I gotta tell you, there's one spot that really warmed my heart.
Oh.
Actually, 2.
You're welcome. You're welcome that you know me, that I did that.
I don't know. There's like 100 kids and parents and everything there. When it's time to eat pizza,
At the party?
Guess where Graham came?
He came to you?
Right.
To give you a piece?
Sat right next to Papa.
What'd you get? What gourmet pizza did you guys get?
I know. Hillary just got it from Costco.
What?
Got it from Costco.
What?
And she read some chart.
Is that when you learned that Hillary's having money problems?
So she looked at some chart and how many pizzas per how many kids.
Yeah. How much did you have left over?
30 pieces. We gave away to every person that worked there.
You're walking into every birthday party.
And they still had to bring 15 of them home.
Dude, are you serious?
Yeah.
You cut that back. If you run out, you know what you do? You call Domino's and have them deliver what you
No,
need.
because I've always said whenever we have people over to the house, you'd always rather have a little extra than not enough.
Yeah, but not 30.
No. But sometimes it's hard to cut that margin, and because then I get people like Steve complaining that he can't go for thirds. And
I didn't complain at all.
Yes, you
No,
did.
Dale.
You were mad.
Again, the story was
you slammed your hand.
The
and
guy
said,
was like, we have plenty of food left over if you guys want some more, except for you two fatty McFatties. Me and your brother, I'm going to get with your brother. We're going to
You
confirm
slammed
this.
your hand down and said, what kind of party is this?
Yeah, I dug my chair into your grass. I'm going to show you. That was all. I'm gonna get with your brother and record your brother like I did Luis Gonzalez. We're gonna get this story right. All right, folks. Appreciate you joining us on this Monday. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. We'll see you then. Bruce Cooper tomorrow. Unless he texts. Good to go. Masters Week. See ya. Have fun.